On Monday. What happened between June 3rd and the beginning of this week on Monday?
Well, I will tell you, Ainsley, House Republicans are going to follow the facts and demand accountability and transparency. The statement by Attorney General Merrick Garland is not nearly enough. The American people deserve to know all aspects and all details. And let's take a step back. This is Joe Biden's Department of Justice and FBI targeting his most likely presidential opponent in 2024. It is not news to the American people that President Trump is very likely to run for president. This was incredibly an overreach. It's un-American. And there's going to be a lot more questions from the FBI that the American people deserve. And I will tell you, this is systemic. This is the same agency that perpetuated the Russia hoax for years, that tried to undermine this administration. And this is just blatant politicization. And it should concern every American. I will tell you, my constituents are deeply, deeply concerned about the politicization of the FBI and Biden's DOJ.
Well, of course, the FBI director was appointed by Donald Trump, the former president. But, Congresswoman, if, you know, and they're just allegations, and we just have a little taste of the story from the New York Times and the Washington Post. They say, as Peter talked a moment ago, that apparently there was a national security concern about some of the documents allegedly at Mar-a-Lago, that they were materials from. They were higher than top secret. They were classified higher than that. As you know, they're called special access programs, and apparently they're related to nuclear weapons. We don't know if there are weapons. We don't know if they're another country's weapons. But if that is true, and they were just in the basement at Mar-a-Lago, that's kind of a big deal.
Well, certainly, Steve, there's been a lot of, again, guesses as to, and media reporting. We do not know the facts, which is why it's important to follow the facts wherever they lead. And that's why it's important in our oversight role on the House Intelligence Committee. We continue to see the FBI refuse to answer questions when they create controversies and they overreach. And that should never be the case. Congress has oversight over these agencies. We will ask those tough questions. But what I've found with Director Wray, even related to FBI controversies in my district, which led to the loss of life in a very deadly limousine crash, they are refusing to respond to basic congressional outreach. That is not okay. These agencies are paid for by hardworking taxpayer dollars. And if you can do this to a former president of the United States, every American is fearful. But of course, we will always protect national security and classified information. That is important. But the president has said, and it's important to note, Steve, that the president, when he was a sitting president, he has the right to declassify any information. So there's going to be a lot more information here that comes out when we focus on the facts.